So if you guys have been following me on my Twitch channel, you know, every Monday I stream for Extra Life, and I have some goals in place when we hit a certain threshold. One of those you guys have already reached, and that is I am playing through WWE 2K14 on the 360, and specifically I'm doing the 30 Years of WrestleMania mode, where you go through each WrestleMania from 1 to 29, thankfully not 30, so that we have to witness Brock beating Taker again. But you play various different matches. They have video presentations. They have cutscenes with promos laced in with the actual models. And it's just a fun time to kind of relive these WrestleMania moments with the graphics of the video game. And there have been plenty of other great showcase modes in previous 2K games. WWE 13 had the Attitude Era. 2015 had a split between, you know, the Summer of Punk and the Triple H Shawn Michaels feud in the early 2000s. We also had the Daniel Bryan storyline from, you know, starting off with Velocity against John Cena all the way up to WrestleMania 30. Glitches aside, we had, you know, the Four Horsewomen and the rise of the Women's Revolution. But let's say if WWE 2K games come back in 2K22, which is rumored to happen, what are they going to do with the showcase mode? Are they going to be able to, you know, actually have one? Or are they going to focus too much on the graphics and the gameplay and actually, you know, try to make the game work before adding in any extra shit? But what I've got for you guys today is 5 showcase modes that they can put in the next WWE game. So before we go over, of course, you know, this is based on, you know, who's presently with the company, who has a Legends contract, and, you know, who's not working for Tony Khan and AEW or Impact Wrestling or Ring of Honor or anything like that. Let's just say for the fact that when the game comes out, contracts be damned, here's who they have, here's who they can go with, and, you know, let's just go with it. I will give you a prime example with 2K14, because at this time when this game was released, Kurt Angle and the Dudleys were currently with TNA Wrestling. So you're not going to get Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania 20. You're not going to get any TLC matches or the Triangle Ladder matches, because I think other than Edge and Christian, everyone else is with TNA at this time. Okay, the first one, I don't know what you could name this. You could probably name this the OVW 3. And that's John Cena, Batista, and Randy Orton. So all 3 of these guys were, you know, a part of this group, along with Brock Lesnar. They were a group of guys that trained together in Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was WWE's official, unofficial developmental territory. This is way before Deep South or Florida Championship Wrestling, or even what newer fans know to be NXT. Now again, depending on who you have on your contract or Legends contracts, you know, you could tell the tales of all 3 members' individual debuts. So you could have, you know, John Cena in Ruthless Aggression against Kurt Angle. You could have Randy Orton in his sophomore year, you know, taking on Bob Holly. We can even we could go back and even, you know, revisit Deacon Batista. Remember Batista with the shaved head and the soul patch? With all 3 of these guys, if you looked ahead 20 years from then and said, not only are these guys going to be future Hall of Famers, and, you know, some of them will tackle Hollywood to great success, and one of them will do 12 rounds too. All 3 guys came to the same system, debuted on the same exact time-ish, around 2002, 2003. Now, one's a Hall of Famer, and all 3 of them are multiple-time world champions. So I think it'd be kind of cool to go back and relive the moments of John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton. And there's a lot that you can play off of, and a lot of matches you can pick and choose from their, oh god, 20-plus year careers. Speaking of Randy Orton and Batista, hell, it's the perfect time to kind of maybe do a gigantic showcase about Triple H. You know, you can even, now that you have that licensing, go all the way back to WCW when he was terrorizing and then became Jean-Paul Levesque. We can go back that far. Or, I mean, if you want to just, you know, have a hard cut off, Okay, debut, new gen, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Sable by his side. We can have like the moments where, the click, and then have maybe one match to show him, as he said, you're gonna have to eat piles of dog shit. Maybe have like that one dog shit match, then King of the Ring, Degeneration X, The Game, Evolution. Been through some 2-man power trip in there. I mean, Triple H, just WWE alone, has had a 25-year-long career. There is so much that you can do with Triple H as a showcase mode. You can have the Reign of Terror if you want to. You have enough guys on a Legends contract that you could probably, get some pretty good matches with Triple H. A lot of them have been done in showcase modes before, but come on, we can, pick and choose, go through that. I think Triple H would be a really good pick for a showcase mode. Another one that has had a long and illustrious career and deserves a showcase mode on his own, Rey Mysterio. I mean, with the amount of footage, licenses, and companies that you own, you could make a very comprehensive Rey Mysterio showcase. You can get to his early days in ECW. You can put a few of them great WCW matches. Okay, yeah, don't put Filthy Animals, Rey Mysterio. I know WWE likes to pretend that that doesn't exist because, oh no, he never took the mask off. It never happened. Kevin Nash never made fun of him for taking the mask off and said, oh, put it back on, put it back on. But yeah, like through ECW, WCW, and for as long as he's been with WWE, it's like on and off about 20 years now with WWE. I think it's good to have, you can have a showcase mode. Although, if you do a showcase mode, can we please have Eddie Ray SummerSlam for the custody of Dominic? Come on, you can put that in there. And, and then that leads into, the untimely death of Eddie Guerrero, leading into Ray's program with winning the Royal Rumble. I mean, you can throw that in there. I mean, there have been showcase modes where they've had like the first bit of someone's Royal Rumble, or the last bit, I should say, of someone's Royal Rumble. 2K16 comes to mind with Steve Austin. They showed the 2001 Royal Rumble, and he eliminated the one Billy Gunn and Rikishi and this and that. You could do that as well. I mean, I think Rey Mysterio would be a good fit. Alright, for the last two, they're really, really heavy hitters, but they're probably more ingrained in the longevity and the long history of professional wrestling. I'm talking about NWO. Start off with Bash of the Beach, Outsiders versus Luger, Sting, Macho, Hulk Hogan with the leg drop, and you fans can stick it, brother. And then just coast from there. I don't know if we need to go NWO 2000. I mean, Jarrett's back with the company, so technically you could do that. But then again, you have to feature Scott Steiner, and I know you guys don't want to do that. But I mean, if you you guys own the trademarks. Revisionist history, you guys do it all the time. So maybe just cut it off whenever the original incarnation of the NWO stopped. I can't remember because I stopped watching around that time. But then you can actually go into NWO 2002 from No Way Out to WrestleMania, and I mean, obviously you don't do the final match of the NWO history where Nash tore his quad and that was it. But I think you guys have a good moment here. Is that you guys can go through this comprehensive history about the NWO. Again, a lot of the key players, not with the company right now. They're over with, the enemy. But, again, I was making up this list, and I told myself, okay, no limits on who can or cannot be in it. I think NWO would make a fantastic showcase mode. And it's in perfect timing because they're all going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well, they were inducted last year, but then COVID, so they're coming out this year. Let's have a showcase mode with the New World Order. And finally, the number one, and it's about time because he's officially, I think, hung up the boots. The Undertaker. We need to have a proper showcase of The Undertaker's career. Now, I'm not talking about every single WrestleMania match, but I'm just saying, let's start celebrating the history of The Undertaker. All the way back to Survivor Series 1990, when he debuted with the manager of Brother Love by Ted DiBiase. You know, I mean, that moment you really can't do too well, because I think his only claim to fame was, you know, hitting the tombstone on Coco Beware and then getting counted out. But, I mean, there are so many great moments, and there's so many, like, there are iconic moments that aren't really all that great. I mean, I still would like, in that mode, let's have Taker versus Taker. Let's have Bryan Lee versus Mark Calloway. Taker versus Taker. I mean, there's just so much to draw from that. Obviously, Undertaker Mankind, Undertaker Kane, you know, Ministry of Darkness. I will still defend Biker Taker to the death. You know, give us Big Red, give us Big Evil, give us This Is My Yard, I'll Make You Famous. I know technically, well, you can't use DDP, but that'd be a little tricky if you want to do the, you know, Undertaker wife stuff. But, you know, Biker Taker, Buried Alive, coming back as Dead Man, The Streak. There's so much you can do. And to cap it all off, let's have the Boneyard match with AJ Styles to end it all. So that was my list. What do you guys think? What do you guys like to see for a future 2K showcase? Now, again, put the rules aside. You know, let's not worry about contracts and licensing and, you know, whether or not we should put these people in the game or not. You know, this is, you know, fantasy booking here. What would you guys like to see as a 2K showcase in a future 2K game? Let me know in the comments below. And that's going to do it for me. I'm Johnny Chase, and I still don't have or remember my outro. I'll come up with one soon. Maybe. Probably not. I'm really lazy. Later.